Oh, hey, you must be my class. Today, we're going to talk about what is trading. We went over the chart anatomy and how the chart and the candlesticks are built and how they move a little bit. But now we're going to talk about what is trading and how do we trade? How do we actually use those to have an opinion? What are we doing now? And so we're going to start with the definition of trading. Trading, the definition we have came up with, Coco himself. Executing positions in the market based off of bias built around your proven strategy or edge. And that's a lot of words at once. That's a lot of unfamiliar words. So we're going to go through them one at a time. Okay, so the first one I'm going to go over here is edge. And edge is a very important one. It's what works for you, really. It's whatever you trade off.
Simple.
Yeah,
Whatever
it's
you
very simple.
learn.
It's whatever you've learned, whatever strategy you have, whatever indicator you use, that's your edge. And edge is what makes your, I guess, trading portfolio, your ideas more probable than not. And do you notice how I say more probable than not and not flawless or not perfect? Because your trading will never be perfect. You will always lose some. It's how it's going to happen. Even if you have the perfect setup, sometimes market just doesn't, it's just nature. It's just going to happen. Steph Curry misses three pointers, it just happens. And so that's why we keep a risk management, of course, and we will go over that in the future. But that will also bring me to my key idea of the video. Success is failure with the dirt brushed off. And I really like that because you see all these successful people and they were all they have all been through so many failures. They have all experienced so many failures. And I'm sure the more successful, the more failures they've gone through, for the most part. And I really like it because it's about, perseverance, as we talked about in the last video, I believe. Um, it's great to just think about that, you know, because you got to brush that dirt off and you got to keep going. And you may be a failure right now. We're all failures in our own way because we can all improve and we can all reach our own successes. So keep brushing that dirt off, keep going through the storm, the dust storm, and become successful.
Like the bicycle.
All right, and so we're going to go over bias now. Bias, you basically use your edge to find your bias, essentially. Bias is your idea of how market will move based on your edge. So it's a prediction, I guess. It's as we say, it's either bullish or bearish.
The bull or the bear.
Bullish means that puppy is going up. Bearish means it's going down. And so we'll say a bull run, a bear attack. That's just those fancy terms. We don't write those down because they aren't really. I guess bull and bear are actually pretty good terms. Maybe I'll write these down later in the video. But yeah, bias is just where you think the market will move for the day, and that's how you enter into your positions. And so for that, I'm gonna have Jordan present the positions and more information about that. Welcome, Jordan.
Get on your left
Oh,
side.
I'll get on my side.
All right. I wanted to make sure everyone. Okay, we are good. All right. So we are going to get into the basics of positions. Really, the most basic of what long, short, take profit, and stop loss. So a long or a buy position is basically you're predicting that price is going to go up. It's going to go bullish. Okay, but a short position is the complete opposite of that. It's predicting the price will go down, aka bearish. Okay, simple as that. And using your edge and your bias, you'll be able to take profit at key levels that price is likely to target. Okay, and stop loss simply is just a protected safety net for when your bias is wrong. And Tim actually had a super good point on stop loss here to say. What was that?
It's actually a quote from one of our, I guess, mentors. His name is Mark Douglas. And it's one of his YouTube seminars, or not YouTube seminars, but it's on YouTube now, one of his trading seminars. And he said your stop loss, or where you exit a trade, is the point where, as in a dollar figure, it's the point where losing more money hurts more than to say you're a loser. And it's tough to separate your ego from things, but that really is
It's
that's the
just
truth.
that's just
That's
so
the truth.
perfect. That's just so perfect to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, a
You know?
stop loss is just where your idea is wrong. And it's tough to admit you're wrong, especially in a market where when you close out, that's when you really, lose. That's when the
Yeah.
dollar, that's when it hits your account. And some people are scared to close. Some people will move their stop loss down and give themselves more room. Don't do that. That is against the rules.
The rules. Yeah.
You will fuck yourself. So don't do that. Um, yeah.
At least not too extensively.
And I think Jordan's gonna go over the sessions here.
Yeah, so the sessions is simple. This is Eastern Standard Time here. These are just the times when the market is really volatile, especially right here at the New York Open, which is when me and TP trade.
But describe what a session is.
So a session it's pretty much like the market movers workday in that time of the world. So
Exactly.
in London, that's when all the London market movers are trading.
The
In
Brits.
Asia, yeah, the Brits. In New York, that's when all the
Keep your pinky up.
okay. New York, that's when Wall Street's trading. They're trying to catch
Yeah.
positions 9:30 a.m. Asian session, that's when all the Asian markets are moving. So okay, what? I love the Asians. Okay, because they move gold pretty good.
They do. They do
They
move
move
gold.
gold pretty good. Okay. Yes, but that is pretty much the most basic of the sessions. BNTP, like I said, we do only trade. Well, not only. I like
95, 99%.
a lot of the time we are New York Open here, so 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes we do also take a look at this Asian session here for gold. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when that volatility starts to come in for that. And we did have some other things. Oh, markets. Where's the marker?
And there's nothing wrong with watching the market at any time. I will if I'm up and I'm just bored. It's always great to watch the market, but make sure to watch and really focus in on when you trade, when you can trade, and focus on where the volatility is, and try to work your schedule around it so that you can get a good what do you call it? A good system going.
Good routine going.
Good routine, yes. It's great to be routinely with trading. It's great. I think it's great to have that system set in your mind, to be like a robot. And that sounds kind of funny, but it really is true.
That's
You need
really
to
what it's about.
be as emotionless and as robotic and as systematic as possible to be successful at this. Of course, we will go over psychology and all that kind of stuff.
So Tim did want to go over the different types of markets there are. The main two that will be relevant to what we trade, or it is what our strategy is relevant across all markets. Three are the most relevant. These two down here for us, for the most part. So forex, or I shouldn't have done it like that. That's wrong.
Forex is short for foreign exchange. It is
It's basically it consists of pairs
yes.
usually. So it may be the British pound over the dollar, vice versa, Canadian dollar, USD, just whatever. It's a pair of two foreign currencies divided, essentially.
Yeah, it's just a ratio basically comparing the prices.
And that is demonstrated here, XXX divided by XXX.
Yeah, they are in three-letter
acronyms,
symbols, yeah.
whatever. And futures, that mainly consists of index for us, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq are the main two futures.
They paired together,
Yep.
they move on the same.
They are correlated.
Average.
We did go over that last video too, and then commodities, that is like your gold, your silver. We do trade, like we said, gold, Asian session, not really silver as it is not too volatile, especially on the platforms I'm using. There's not really too much movement that I can see at least.
Sometimes
so. But I don't get candles though. It's literally like it teleports. But that is really what we have for today's second teaching tape. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Hit the notifications,
Hit the
comment,
noti.
do anything, please.
It really helps a lot.
Join the
Futurist,
Futurist family.
join the Futurist family. Futurist group out.
We out.